in a playoff game. Bart Starr was then the Green Bay quarterback, and the great Vince Lombardi was the Packer coach. On the last play of the game, Starr, behind a devastating block by Jerry Kramer, put the Pack into the end zone, and they beat Dallas 21-17. Packers went on to win Super Bowl number 2 over Oakland. Some of the names remain the same. Bart Starr, of course, is now the Green Bay head coach, and Tom Landry is, as he was then, the leader of the Cowboys. Green Bay has 3 outstanding receivers. Kaufman, the tight end, James Lofton wide on one side, and John Jefferson on the other. Last week against St. Louis, Jefferson caught 2 touchdown passes. All 3 of those receivers are headed for the Pro Bowl. But the key to the Packers' success today against Dallas is how well they protect their quarterback, Lynn Dickey, who is coming off his best year ever. He threw for 4 touchdowns against St. Louis last week. The Cowboy receiving core is equally impressive. Doug Cosby is the tight end. Tony Hill, one of the wide receivers. And Drew Pearson, the other. This pass from Danny White to Pearson last week against Tampa is vintage Drew Pearson. So get set for a load of fireworks as the Packers face the Cowboys in round 2 of the playoffs.
CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, an NFC playoff game. The Green Bay Packers against the Dallas Cowboys.
Texas Stadium is jam-packed and a most enthusiastic crowd, as you would expect, as we move into round 2 of the playoffs. Not an empty seat anywhere on what has turned out to be just a perfect day for football. Good afternoon. I'm Pat Summerall. Second round of the playoffs. The Cowboys have been in the playoffs 16 out of the last 17 years. The Packers haven't been here since 1972 in the playoffs. How important is that? Let's ask a guy who knows a lot about it, who's been there himself, our colleague John Madden.
I think it really favors Dallas. You know, they've been there, they know what it is, and in the NFL, the real excitement, the real football is at playoff time. I love this type of time, and, you know, the fans love it. They've been going crazy here today. The Dallas Cowboys named their fans as honorary captains. I think they're taking a job seriously. They may try and get down for the flip.
They were wild last week here against Tampa Bay. What about key matchups today, John?
Well, you know, there's a lot about the receivers and so on, but I always like that line play. You know, John Dutton is out. He won't play today. Don Smirrick has taken his place, so that'll be a test. Don Smirrick's a tough guy. The other question is Too Tall Jones. He injured his knee last week, and he's going to test it for the first time today. And he'll be testing it against this Green Bay offensive line. They have their job cut out for them, both run-wise and pass protection. There'll be some great matchups, a lot of stuff down on that field.
One of the very best ever to kick it will kick off for Green Bay, the veteran Jan Stenerud. And back deep for Dallas, number 27, Ron Fellows. And alongside him, Timmy Newsom. Playoff time. You can feel it. Stenerud, a high kick to Fellows at the 4. Fellows out of the pack outside the 20, 22-yard line. Mark Murphy down to knock him down. Let's check the lineup. On offense, that's the way they operate. White, Dorsett, Newhouse. In place of Ron Springs and Tony Hill and Drew Pearson, the wide receivers. Up front, it's Cosby, Donovan, Scott Rafferty, Kurt Peterson, and Jim Cooper. Danny White. Of course, he does not call the plays himself. He just repeats what Tom Landry sends in. Newhouse, the fullback, and Dorsett, the other runner. On first down, blitz is on by Green Bay, intended for Dorsett. It spun right through his hands. George Cumby out there in good coverage. The Green Bay defense, it's a 3-man front. Butler, Jones, and Ezra Johnson, the ends. The linebackers, and it's a good core. Anderson, Scott Cumby, and Mike Douglas. And the secondary. Lee, McCoy, Johnny Gray, and Harvey. Pass incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. The ball at the 23-yard line. The Dallas crowd already alive. Tony Hill. Out wide, and this is Dorsett. Packers in good shape, no gain. Up quickly is John Anderson.
Talking about people that are excited. Look at that Packer defense. You know, one thing about that defense, they aren't a big defense. They don't have big guys in there. They play the three-man line, and as Bart Starr said, they're a movement defense. They don't take things on. They have to get everyone to the ball, and they really swarm that second down run.
Lost a yard, as a matter of fact. So make it 3rd down and 11. Tom Landry on the other side of the field in front of the Dallas bench. Timmy Newsom, one of the backs now. Out of the shotgun goes Danny White. Crosby stays in the block. Down the middle, Tony Hill. Stopped by Johnny Gray, but it's a Dallas first down. 15-yard pickup.
That was an interesting play. The Packers had Hill double teamed. They have him double covered here. They have 5 defensive backs. See, they get a bump there. The second man comes in right here, and Tony Hill beat both of them. Danny White found him between the 2 defensive backs. So they beat double coverage on 3rd down.
It seems, or at least it looked in warm-up and then, that Danny White's thumb is completely healed.
Well, he told us yesterday that it was.
Newsom now, the 10 back with Dorsett as White's going to throw on first down. He has Timmy Newsom. Newsom out to about the 44-yard line, knocked down by John Anderson and Randy Scott.
We're going to see a lot more of Timmy Newsom today. We know Ron Springs, the regular starting fullback for the Cowboys, is out. He won't play today. So Robert Newhouse started. But Newsom is also going to play some fullback. He's been a tailback all this year.
He is an excellent receiver, although he's only caught that many passes this year. When he's been used, when he's been called on, he's been very effective. 2nd and 3, Newhouse is back in now. To Newhouse. Newhouse close to first down yardage. Randy Scott, the first Packer to hit him. I don't think he quite made it, but he's close.
Newhouse is something, isn't he? He's about 5'9", 220 pounds, and it's all there below the waist. Look at the size of those legs. There's trouble buying pants, I bet. Look at that power.
I bet he does.
You know, that's where people's power comes from, below the waist. You know, and that's what they always have to develop. You like that in big offensive linemen and so on. You also like that in your fullback. That's hard to tackle, that stuff.
Enough power to get a Dallas first down. Line of scrimmage now. The Dallas 48-yard line. 1st and 10. Both times on first down, Danny White has dropped the throw. Tony Hill split out wide to the left. Crosby goes in motion. Penalty marker down as Dorsett cuts back. Hit at the line of scrimmage. He wouldn't have gotten much, but the play really never was a play.
That was one of those plays that the whistle blew before the play started, or as it started. It's probably too much time. They didn't get it off in the 30 seconds or had some type of illegal motion.
I think it was too much time.
They've had problems with that over the years, the Cowboys. You know.
Delay of game offense.
Thank you, Gene.
As you see, Gene Barth is the referee. Art Demas is the umpire. And we'll get to the rest of them in just a minute. It's 1st and 15 in the first quarter at Texas Stadium. Dallas has ripped off 2 first downs, and it's 1st and 15 after that walk-off against them. Right back to throw on first down again. Outside screen pass, Dorsett. And the Packers read it very well. Mike Douglas up to make the first contact. Screen pass that was rather slow developing.
There is an active guy, number 53, Mike Douglas. You know, when he came out, he was only about 6 foot, and he weighed about 210 pounds. But he's a good tackler. Last week, it said it right there, last week he had 10 unassisted tackles. Now that's getting around that gridiron.
He is still, as far as linebackers go these days, not that big.
No, he's not. And the guy that plays next to him, George Cumby, is also under 215 pounds.
2nd and 14. One running back, and it's Dorsett. Dorsett gets around the corner, almost gets away. John Anderson gets a hand on the back of his jersey. Dorsett got about 5. It'll still be long yardage.
You know, it was interesting. Last year, every team in the playoffs that scored first won the game. This year, it's not the same. It really doesn't mean as much. I think it's about even. Like 6 teams in the playoffs that scored first have won the game. 5 teams have won that haven't scored first.
There's what John was talking about. It'll be 3rd down and 9 at the 49. Passing down coming as White goes into the shotgun formation. Green Bay comes on a blitz. He has to throw in a hurry. He does. Tony Hill, first down. White is down. White really took a shot. 10-yard gain, enough for the first down.
That was that sub-defense of the Green Bay Packers. They had their 5 defensive backs in, 4 linemen, and they blitzed one of their defensive backs. I watched Danny White. We see a stun in the line. The defensive back hit him just as he threw the ball. I think it was Johnny Gray, the strong safety.
It was Johnny Gray.
Right there. Right after he threw the ball, he really took a shot.
Danny White doesn't look like a tough guy, but he really is.
His eyes look tough.
Yes.
Steal.
Brown steal. 1st and 10 from the Green Bay 41. Here's Dorsett looking, finding some room, picking his way. First down, Dallas. Johnny Gray again on the stop. 11-yard gain by Tony Dorsett.
You know, Tony Dorsett is one of those not big guys that can be effective running inside because he has the quickness. Watch, he starts to the right. Watch that cutback right there off the nose. And then this other cutback right there. That's the old double cutback, and he picked up good yardage. Well, a lot of tailbacks don't run inside. They like to get them outside. But Dorsett is one that can be as effective running inside as he is outside.
And you saw one of the reasons why, that great ability he has to change direction so quickly. That double cutback. This is a single cutback this time. To the 25. John Anderson on the stop. Dorsett got about 6. And gets up slowly, if he does. He's asking for help from the sideline and trots in that direction. Out comes Newsom and Newhouse. Now, Newsom will go to the tailback spot, and Newhouse will be the fullback. As Dorsett comes over, he might have gotten a finger in the eye or something like that.
The same thing happened to him last week. Remember against Tampa Bay, he came out, he had a finger in the eye.
They're at the Packer 24.5-yard line, 2nd down 4. 11th play of this drive, which started back at the 23. Pearson in motion this time. White, under pressure, finally gets rid of it, completes it to Cosby. But they say he was in the grasp of the Green Bay defenders, and they'll bring it back.
That's one of the rules that the fans really don't like when it's their quarterback. We were talking about Mike Douglas earlier. Watch him. He's blitzing or coming from the right side. And we see him. He has Danny White in the grasp. You see the grasp there? Just below the waist. The referee, right behind the quarterback, blew the whistle.
Terry Jones is number 63, the Packer nose tackle, who's done such a good job, not very big. As John Madden was saying a minute ago, his place has been taken by Richard Turner, who is bigger. Now they go with 4 down linemen, Green Bay does, as Dallas goes from the shotgun. And White thought Butch Johnson was going to the outside, and he went to the inside. But to Marvin Knight over with Tony Dorsett. Doesn't appear that he's severely injured. Raphael Septien trots off the bench. This is going to be about a 50-yard attempt. He's been kicking extremely well.
I saw him in the training room yesterday. He was getting treatment on his right leg, and I asked him about it. He said, that's bionic. He said, my leg's bionic. I'm just getting it charged up. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's see if it's charged enough. Toronto holds. It'll be from 50 yards. Yes, sir. 50 yards out for Raphael Septien.
Look at that. He puts both fists up. Man, I did it. That bionic machine works. Good stuff in that machine.
first quarter. Dallas breaks on top. It's 3-0 Cowboys. That 50-yard field goal by Rafael Septien is a new Cowboy playoff record. It's also his 12th in a row in playoffs. The old record was his too. 48 yards. That's a new one.
He had the smile in the eye, didn't he? Not on the face, but in the eyes.
3-0 Dallas, and Septien takes off. Good kick. Del Rogers, 2 yards deep in the end zone, comes whirling out. Rogers still on his feet. Fumble!
Looks like they're going to give it to Green Bay. I think the officials must be saying that the ball was dead before he fumbled. Let's say it to the Cowboys.
Jeff Rohr came up with the ball.
Let's watch it here. See it right here. He breaks the tackle. Now he gets hit, and we see right there the ball is stripped just as he was going down, and he didn't have control of it when he went to the ground.
It was Monty Hunter who made the hit that took the ball loose. One of the heroes of last week's victory over Tampa.
Big game Hunter.
From the 28, first and 10, 8:05 left to play first quarter. White asking for quiet. Newhouse cuts back, gets to the 25. Randy Scott tripped him up. Medical help for linebacker Danny Spradlin, who plays so well on the special teams. Massaging his neck a little bit. He has a 19-inch neck.
They take a couple guys to massage that.
Newhouse just run out. There's one lone setback.
I got this side, you got that side.
Stand for 2 tight ends. Dupree on this side, Cosby on the other side. And off is to Tony Dorsett. Breaks one tackle, gets inside the 20. He may have a Dallas first down. I think he does. Ezra Johnson made the stop.
Let's watch it again. Here we'll see Douglas, number 53. He starts to the outside, sees the run, comes back in, and you have to get more than one arm or one hand on Tony Dorsett. He runs right through that tackle.
You were talking before about Newhouse and that great leg strength that he has. Dorsett must have it too, because he's not that big.
No, I'll tell you, he's a powerful guy. You know, he's not that big. He only weighs about 190 pounds, but he really has a lot of power.
He got enough for the first down. Line of scrimmage, the Green Bay 18, 7:09 left to play first quarter. Andy White, the quarterback. Dallas still hasn't been on defense. And, of course, the Packers haven't been on offense. White to throw. It's to Newsom. Newsom breaks the tackle. Newsom down to the 12. Lewis is the Packer who made the stop.
It's one of the things that the Cowboys like to do when they have Newsom in there is throw the ball to him. We're going to see it's just a little outlet pass here. You'll throw it out here to the right. Maurice Harvey, number 23, comes in right here. He misses. Newsom, again, picks up about 4 more yards after the missed tackle.
It'll be 2nd and 4. Cowboys at the Packer 12, trying to add to their 3-0 lead. Dorsett. Randy Scott with a sure tackle and a good play.
You always have to pick up in the 3-man line. You have to pick up that inside linebacker. Watch 55 right here in the right of the screen. You see the guard blocks down on the center. That gives him a hole to run through. So he gets that penetration and gets Dorsett before he can turn upfield.
Randy Scott, a 2-year pro from Alabama. Looked as if Donovan was assigned to block him, and he just overshot it. From the shotgun now. 3rd and 8. This was the kind of thing that Danny White said they didn't want to do. That's the kind of thing they do want to do. Oh, Crosby was open. Had it and dropped it.
Landry's looking for a play there, but it's a field goal play, Tom. You know, it's interesting, before the game, we had Danny White on, and he was saying that this week we want to get down there and score. Last week we got down against Tampa Bay 4 times and had to settle for field goals, and that's the way they're starting again today.
And Septien will try from 34 yards out. This time he's hit from 50. Runo holding. Septien is good again. With 5 minutes and 11 seconds left to play in the first quarter at Texas Stadium, it is Dallas 6, Green Bay nothing. Texas Stadium, where the Cowboys lead the Green Bay Packers 6-0. 2 field goals by Rafael Septien. One of 50 yards, one of 34 yards. And he's about to kick off right now. Dale Rogers back deep for Green Bay again. Shorter kick. Rogers at the 7. Holds on this time, gets out to about the 28, and now we'll have our first look at the Green Bay offensive unit. Lynn Dickey, the quarterback. Eddie Lee Ivory, one of the runners. Gary Ellis, the other. James Lofton and John Jefferson, the wide receiver. Tight end is Paul Kaufman, Stokes, Huffman, McCarron, Harris, and Greg Cook up front. And we'll set the Dallas defense for you in just a minute. Lynn Dickey, who has gone through some tough times injury-wise and come back to have an outstanding year. Will throw on first down. The Cowboys come after him. It's Ellis shaking away from people, and the defense converges quickly. Guy Brown finally put the hit on him. Let's look at the Dallas defense now. Up front, it's a 4-man front. Ed Jones, Don Smerick in place of John Dutton, Randy White, and Harvey Martin. And the linebackers, Hegman, Bruning, Brown. Everson Walls, Dennis Thurman, the corners, Benny Barnes, and Michael Downs, the safety. We have an injured Cowboy down. It's Guy Brown, number 59. 4:49 left to play in the first quarter. 6-0 Dallas. Dallas has had the ball over 9.5 minutes. Green Bay 34 seconds. Dallas leads 6-0. There's Guy Brown. Anthony Dickerson has replaced him, number 51. Second down, 13. From the Packer 26, Dickey a long count. And off to Ellis. And he is hurled back by Smerick.
Smerick made that play. I'll tell you an interesting thing. Tim Huffman was blocking against Randy White, and he really did a great job of man blocking. Let's watch the left guard right there, 74. Watch him take Randy White. He takes him right out of the play. Of course, Don Smerick comes in and makes the tackle, though.
With help from Benny Barnes, who hit and bounced, and then came back for another hit. 3rd and 10, and this is one of those dangerous situations. The man in motion. Dickey steps up in the pocket, has the ball deflected, not intercepted. It was intended for Lofton, but Dickey had no chance. Randy White and Harvey Martin put the pressure on.
And that's going to be a big key. Being able to handle that defense. You know, Randy White put the pressure on Pat. He came from a linebacker position. Randy White didn't line up on the line of scrimmage. He lined up as an inside linebacker and rushed from that position. That's the first time I've seen him do that.
One of the things that Bart Starr was saying that concerned him so much is they come at you, yes, but there's so many different ways they come at you. Low line drive kick by Stakowicz. Fellows hits back up, gets to the 39.
Let's watch the defensive play now. right here to the left of the center. See, there's Randy White, 54. You see him, he comes from a linebacker position, also a stunt. Right there, he put a little pressure, and too tall came from the outside.
Penalty markers down on that last punt return. First time we've seen him come from linebacker spot. I've seen him move to the other side once or twice, but not from deep like that.
No, I've never seen him come from that position.
Illegal block in the back, number 73 on the run back. First down.
Back to the illegal blocks in the back again.
Oh, yeah. Most punts, you have that one.
Bart Starr must have some really solid memories about those two games that these two teams played back in the 60s. 6-0 Dallas. A little meeting with the offensive line over on the Packer bench. That's one of the best offensive tackles ever to play right there, the coach, Ernie McMillan.
Ernie McMillan, his linemen are probably telling him that, hey, Randy White's playing linebacker sometimes. That comes from everywhere.
Dorsett is the lone setback. Line of scrimmage, the Dallas 26. Crosby was in motion. Here's White on first down outside to Dorsett. And up quickly in good shape, Mike Douglas. And he showed you right there with that open field tackle against one of the best runners around, Dorsett, why he has gotten so many accolades.
I think with all the passing in the league that the play is going to be linebackers like Mike Douglas. I think they're going to be the linebackers of the future. The type of player that's maybe not as big and as strong, but has the quickness, can play pass defense like this, can open field tackle, which is a big thing. You don't get those big, strong guys out there, but when you can open field tackle against a Dorsett, that's not bad.
He looks like he could be a defensive back. Here's Dorsett around the corner. Shy of the first down, it's George Cumby this time, another one, who is out of that same mold.
And they play side by side, and they're all over the field. But what Dorsett did on that play is he started, he'll start to the right, and then he bounces it out to the left. Now watch him here. He'll start like it's an inside run to the right, see? That draws the defense in, then holds those linebackers, then he outruns them to the opposite side until George Cumby gets there.
Dallas just put in a new offensive tackle. Derek, who is another one of those that looks out through the roof of this building. Newhouse trying to go for the first down. I don't think he got it. Lucky's about a half-yard short.
That's a tough thing. They just put in Phil Pozderac, a rookie. In a short yardage situation, you would think that maybe they would go to the right side to the guy who's been in there. They put in a guy, and then they run right behind him. That's tough for the first play you're in there.
He's one of those, he's one of those that's a lot better than they thought he was going to be. Here's Danny White. He has punted one time already. Johnny Gray back deep. Goes out of bounds at the 32-yard line where the Packers will take over. The Cowboys have had some chances and they lead 6-0, but they could be further ahead. 6-0. Texas Stadium scores 6-0 Dallas over Green Bay. Pat Summerall with John Madden. First quarter has 1 minute and 21 seconds left. Crowd coming alive and encouraging that defense again. Lynn Dickey, the quarterback. Hoffman was the man in motion. Dickey under fire, and down he goes. Mike Hegman, the blitzing linebacker, takes him down. 5-yard loss.
You know, it's interesting. The Packers are trying to throw on first down to stay out of those long yardage situations. The Packer defense knows that, so they're rushing on first down. We see Mike Hegman. Look, he comes from the right side of the screen, untouched. Lynn Dickey doesn't have a chance. So the Cowboys aren't going to just sit in that flex defense on first down. They're going to be bringing some linebackers. Ernie Stotner said, hey, good one. That's a good play. Good call. I like that stuff.
Ernie, of course, is the defensive coordinator. Now they've got all those extra defensive backs in. a timeout. That'll mean they have 2 left in the first half. Dickey a little bit unsure. Let's sort of try to bring you up to date of where we stand. As you know, I'm sure, Washington advanced by beating Minnesota 21-7 yesterday at Robert F. Kennedy Stadium. And the Jets beat the Los Angeles Raiders. Surprised a lot of people. Speaking of surprises, how about that one, John?
I'll tell you, that one surprised me, but Don Shula playing at home in playoffs, you never know with him. I'll tell you, he's a great coach, but the Washington Redskins, they're all up in Washington watching this game today, and they all say that they would like to play the Cowboys again. I know I watched the game yesterday, and the fans were saying, we want Dallas, bring on Dallas. Dallas wants them. Green Bay wants them also.
Whoever wins this game will have a crack at them. They'll be the home team next week. We'll be there.
I'll tell you, they've done an outstanding job this year. An outstanding job of coaching. Bobby Beathard, the general manager, of putting that team together, and they've sneaked up on some people.
They have. Of course, they only lost the one game, the game we saw. We saw the Cowboys beat them up there. That was the only one, and it was close right down to the end.
I think since that time, Washington has gotten better, and Dallas slipped a little.
Second down and 15. 47 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Van Dickey. Intended for Lofton and out of bounds, as once again Dickey was under pressure.
Let's watch the pass protection here. We know that Tim Huffman is starting at left guard for Daryl Goforth. Now watch him block Randy White. The thing you have to do against Randy White is set short. Take him on in the line of scrimmage. Don't let him get started. Good job by Tim Huffman. Look at those arms. He got that shirt way up there, those big arms. He wants to show Randy White that he got some arm there.
Yeah, he's got some arms too.
Yeah, arm against arm. You know, to wrestle.
Jim Jensen is in the lineup for Green Bay now. Third down and 15. Here they come. Dickey intended for Lofton, over his head and very nearly intercepted. Good coverage by Dennis Thurman.
I think the playoff experience is showing here. Dallas looks very confident, look like a well-oiled machine. Green Bay doesn't. They don't look like they haven't started yet. They don't know exactly what's going to happen. They're not playing this early first quarter with a lot of confidence.
Dickey is 1 out of 4. Rod Hill will stand back and Stakowitz will punt it. Better kick, but not a whole lot better. Bounces. Hill fields with one hand. Now he's coming back this way. He's got some blockers over here. If he had gotten past one more man, it was all over. 44-yard punt, 5-yard return.
The guy that made a great block down there to let Rod Hill get started was Everson Walls. He's on the punt return team, and he blocked about 3 guys while Rod Hill was getting going.
Dallas will take over with 23 seconds left to play in the first quarter. They lead 6-0. The line of scrimmage will be their own 35. Playoff experience, we talked about that throughout the day. And you can see how much more Dallas has. 176 total years of playoff experience, and that's a bunch.
There aren't any people that old.
Dorsett's got maybe a yard before George Cumby tripped him up.
Dallas, the Green Bay defense is playing well. They're doing what they have to. They're swarming. It just looks like the offense just can't get on track, the Packer offense.
Perhaps a repeat of what happened here last week when Tampa Bay's defense was on the field a long time and finally just wore out. At the end of the first quarter then, it's Dallas 6 and the Green Bay Packers nothing.
Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chevrolet. Chevrolet is USA 1, and USA 1 is taking charge. And by the wine cellars of Ernest and Julio Gallo.
quarter. Casey Merrill has replaced Ezra Johnson at defensive right end for the Packers. Rafferty, the center. 2nd and 9. Crosby swings off in motion, blitz his arm. White beats it. Pass incomplete, but a penalty marker is dropped back by the passer. Drew Pearson, the intended receiver, but a flag down. Against Dallas.
You know, you mentioned, Pat, that Casey Merrill was in there at right end for the Packers in place of Ezra Johnson. Well, I just see Ezra Johnson going back in place of Casey Merrill.
You were going to make a significant comment about that.
I was going to talk about the fact that I couldn't see Ezra Johnson on the bench.
67 offense, illegal use of the hands, a push in the face.
A push in the face. That is serious.
Now that's a new one. You hadn't heard of that one. Let's see if we can see it. It'll be on the right-hand side, right there. There's the push in the face. But that wasn't by 67, though.
There's Donovan on the other side on Casey Merrill. It'll be 2nd and 19 then. From out of the sunshine. Draw play, Dorsett with some room. Dorsett almost breaks all the way out to the 47-yard line. Randy Scott finally stopped him, but it's a Dallas first down, 23-yard gain.
I'll tell you, Tony Dorsett doesn't spend much time in that backfield. Watch, it's a little delay here, but watch how quickly he gets through that line and into that secondary. You get a little block in the line, and then boom, he's right through there for a big gain. Watch it from the end zone. See what it looks like to him. He's on the right-hand side. A little delay here. Guard takes the tackle in. Tackle takes the end out. Boom, Dorsett just shoots right through.
Back line, it's intended for Tony Hill, incomplete. Mike McCoy was the defender, and he timed things perfectly.
Dallas is one of those teams that still likes to mix the run and the pass. Look at this. They have 63 yards rushing, 31 passing, but look at Green Bay's 3-yard rushing, -8 passing, total offense -5. That's not a very good day's work.
One of the things that Danny White had said when we talked to him before the game was that he felt that they had to control the ball, and so far they've done it. They did it most impressively last week against Tampa Bay. White is 6 out of 10. Dorsett looking for someplace to go. Ezra Johnson was right there with him, and loss of about 4 or 5 yards.
Ezra Johnson is starting to get bigger now. I remember him in college. He went to Morris Brown, and I was looking at him in the draft, and I thought he'd be a linebacker. I never thought he'd get big enough to be a defensive lineman, but he was on the elevator with us last night. He and Mike Butler, and they fill that thing up pretty good.
Yeah, he looks like he might be full grown now.
Yeah, that's a stuffed job when we all get in the elevator. That elevator didn't want to go.
3rd and 13. What worried me was it didn't want to stop.
We were going down.
On the shotgun. Ezra Johnson with a good pass rush. And White goes down. He's hit by Merrill and Johnson.
Of course, the Packer defense is getting pretty good pressure on Danny White in those passing situations. They go to a 4-man line, as we see here. Merrill and Ezra Johnson will come from the left-hand side of the screen. See it start to collapse right there, and he got hit just as he threw it by Ezra Johnson.
Another one of those 3-man teams that goes to the 4-man line to put rush on the passer. The 4-man fronts do it the other way around. 6-0 Dallas. White back to kick at his own 30. Epps is back deep for the Packers at his own 13. He's got the good speed. Angelo King was the linebacker from Dallas who knocked him out of bounds or chased him out. 42-yard punt, 8-yard return. 6-0 Dallas. Tony Dorsett putting an extra pad on his right shin bone. An active first half so far. 1st and 10 with 13:06 left in the first half. Ball at the 21. Eddie Lee Ivory. To about the 5-yard gain. Mike Hegman tripped him up. Word on Guy Brown, by the way, was that he had a pinched nerve. They weren't sure whether he would be back or not, but he is. Regular season story for Lynn Dickey. First 5 games, his percentage of completion, and they had a 4-1 record. And that dropped, their record dropped. 2nd and 5. 5 yards for Ivory on first down. Ellis is the lone setback. Ellis gets the carry, chased by Randy White and taken down by Randy White and Guy Brown.
I think eventually the Packers are going to have to go to some passing on first down. I know we were talking to Bart Starr last night, and he said he thought he could run against that flex defense on first down, and on second down, on running downs, but I'll tell you, it's tough to make a living doing that.
It's been a long time since anybody has. It'll be 3rd down and 6 now. They lost the yard on it. Carry. Now the crowd chants defense. Again, Randy White is lined up in the linebacker position. Offsides, Ed Jones jump. Dickey runs through it. Jefferson has the pass completion. This is Epps. I'm sorry, not Jefferson. Philip Epps, the rookie from TCU. Ron Fellows, the defender.
He's a guy that's going to make his presence felt in this game. We see that during the regular season, he scored 2 touchdowns. He can really run, you know, and they get out there and they, you know, and they're paying attention to Lofton and Jefferson, and that little Epps, you know, he can do something. Watch this little guy here. He reminds me of Cliff Branch. He only weighs about 165 pounds.
Defense number 72.
Watch him, see, they have so much respect for his deep speed that he can drive that corner off.
And the Packers, of course, take the play. That is their first down. Epps is on the sideline now, and let's see what they do on first down. Dallas back in the flex defense. Rogers, fumble, out of bounds, and he's the last one who had it, so the Packers will keep it.
Hey, that was a big break for the Packers there. It's the 2nd time today that Del Rogers has fumbled the ball. That one luckily went out of bounds. Let's watch Ed Too Tall Jones, 72 here. He's playing against Greg Cook. Good hand motion. See, he gets his hands, strings it out, let the ball come to you, Too Tall, and then come right down the line and make the tackle. He missed the tackle, though. The ball popped out, so the Packers still have it.
And Michael Downs had to come up and make a stop. It is another Green Bay Packers first down. Their second. Ivory back in the game now, deep in the eye. Ivory almost broke away from the grasp of Guy Brown, and who else? Michael Downs again.
There was a real collision there. The fullback, Gary Ellis, number 31 of the Packers, on that play had to block Too Tall Jones. Look, and he ran in there and really took him on. That was quite a match. Ellis is saying, not too many more of those, please. Let's see if we can watch it. Here's Too Tall. You see him? He put Too Tall right back. He buckled him. Ellis doesn't want to do too many more of those, I bet.
2nd and 7, 3-yard gain. They're at the Dallas 44. The Cowboys leading 6-0. Pitches back to Rogers. Rogers down the sideline, still on his feet, is finally knocked out of bounds by Michael Downs, but one more Packer first down. 22-yard pickup. Rogers, when he can hold onto the ball, can really run.
I'll tell you, he can, but the guy that made it possible was the right tackle. Let's see if we can see it from the end zone. Watch the right tackle, number 68, Greg Cook. He's pulling here. There he is, right there. Now watch. He gets walled. Boom! Stay on your feet. That's it. Find another one. Another one right there. Get another one. Boom! Right there. Hit another one. Now there's no more there, but see, 68's the guy that made that play go.
That's Greg Cook. They never got him down. That is Rogers. Rodgers' longest run of the season. The Packers, by the way, are not without fans here in Dallas. A lot of them in the hotel last night. Dickey looking down the middle. Pass complete to Kaufman. 12-yard gain, and one more time they'll move those sticks. There they are.
They're all over. Packer fans are all over. Take a train, you see a lot of... You see that Paul Kaufman?
Yep.
He was falling down as he caught that ball. He made the Pro Bowl doing that. Just kind of finding an opening, settling down, falling down, whatever it takes.
All three of their wide receivers, well, their two wide receivers, Lofton and Jefferson, are in the Pro Bowl, and so is Kaufman. Jefferson split out wide to the right. First and goal from the 9. Dickey on a draw play. Rodgers gets down to about the 6. Ed Jones tripped him up. Here, by the way, are those who will be playing in the Pro Bowl when the whole thing is over. I guess it won't be over until they play the Pro Bowl. Jefferson, Lofton, Kaufman, and Larry McCarron, their offensive center, who's a dandy. And 7 of the Cowboys: Dorsett, White, Donovan, Brunig, Jones, White, and Everson Walls. 2 Whites. Bart Starr. There's only one player on this team that was not either signed or drafted by Bart Starr, and that's McCarron. He was there when Bart took over. Here he is. Dickey, touchdown to Lofton. Green Bay with a very impressive drive takes it all the way down the field. Chance to take the lead.
That's one of the things that they've practiced a lot on this week is that rhythm, quick passing, the slant. You see Lofton, he started out, he really put a move there on Dennis Thurman.
Didn't he, though?
Dennis Thurman couldn't do anything except stand there and watch Lofton catch the touchdown.
Lofton has 9.3 speed, so you got to respect that. Doesn't take him long to get there. Stakowitz holding. Stenerud kicking. And Green Bay takes the lead 7-6 with 9:06 left to play in the first half. Packers look good then.
Let's draw that touchdown. We see John Jefferson right here. He runs a crossing pattern. That clears out everything. Puts James Lofton man-to-man on Dennis Thurman. Now he comes up here, freezes Thurman right in here, and then beats him inside on a quick slant. Hey, I love those lines. Now watch it. Here, now watch Thurman. He's the outside man. Watch how he just freezes. He turns a little, he freezes there, and Lofton gets 3 or 4 steps on him.
Great timing on that pass from Dickey, and a good throw from Dickey. Give him some credit, too. And the Packers lead 7-6. Stenerud will kick off. Fellows and Newsom deep for Dallas. Good kick by him. Fellows from the 2. To the 19. Phil Whitaker on the Packers special teams down to make the stop. That scoring drive, and it was a dandy. 9 plays, 79 yards they went. Kept it 4 minutes. And a 6-yard touchdown pass, a thing of beauty, from Dickey to Lofton.
That was a great drive. It had great mixture, good running, good passing, good pass protection. I'm sure the Cowboys are thinking now, we had 2 opportunities, didn't score. Touchdown, scored field goal, no touchdown.
A 50-yarder by Septien, a 34-yarder by Septien, and that's all. 8:58 left to play in the first half. Green Bay 7, Dallas 6. White. This is Dorsett. Nothing doing. Mike Douglas made the stop.
Hey, I like that Douglas. He's all over the field.
Time of possession. Cowboys 14 minutes, 10 seconds, but only 6 points. And Green Bay with the lead by 1.
I think that Douglas proves that if you have quickness and you can tackle, you don't have to be that big, strong linebacker. He can do that. He does have quickness, and he's a good open field tackler.
Especially you don't need it in the 3-man front setup when you're an outside linebacker, as he is. Here comes the blitz. This is Newsom who breaks a tackle. Newsom will have a Dallas first down or very near to it. George Cumby made the stop, 11-yard gain. He will have a first down.
Now there's a missed tackle in the open field that allowed the first down.
No, wait a minute, John. I'm sorry. It is about a foot short of a first down, I believe.
Watch this. It's a screen pass. They set it up. They get it out here to Newsome. We see the missed tackle right there. That's the thing that allowed about 7 or 8 more yards. Randy Scott, number 55, missed the tackle.
There he is. Newsome is bigger than the rest of the Dallas backs. He's about 235. I think they list him at 231.
He's bigger than the Packer linebacker.
That's right. Third and short. Newhouse has the first down over the left side. Mike Douglas made the stop. Robert Newhouse gets the first.
You always like your fullback to stay low on short yardage. Newhouse is built low. Let's watch Scott here. He's a linebacker. He reads it. He wants to hit the hole the same time the fullback does, but he hit it a little too much to the inside. So, doggone it, where'd that guy go?
You could see him duck his head just as he came into the hole. That's why he missed.
Got to keep that head up. Old coaching point.
Right to Dorsett. Outside the 40, about the 42. Cumby again in there. Howard Richards has come in to play guard. And he and Pozderic are in the offensive line now. And out goes Pozderic, and Donovan comes back in.
There's Dickey on the sideline. You know, it looks like he has that confidence now. I think it was important to get that drive, hit some things, throw a touchdown pass. Look, the linemen are saying, hey, we got him now. Did you see his block on that one? Number 68, there's Greg Cook, who got that big block on the run.
And the guy in the middle was Paul Kaufman, the tight end. Second down and 2. Ball at the 42. Dorsett to the 49. First down, Dallas. Mike Douglas tripped him up. Dorsett has carried 12 times for 59 yards.
Dorsett has that great thing that he can do and move so well. Get in there. Watch Pat Donovan. Big Pat Donovan, 67. He takes Ezra Johnson right out of that play, turns him at the end, and then puts him on the carpet. Good block by Pat Donovan to give Dorsett some room.
First down, 10, Dallas at their own 49. 5:20 left to play first half. White. Hill. Tony Hill moves to the 33-yard line from White. Rich Wingo made the stop. Good for 18 yards.
Look at this crowd. They are alive today. It looks like the secondary is given too much of a cushion here. So it's going to be a zone defense. Tony Hill coming off the line. He gets the bump there. Now he's able to work against the safety, Maurice Harvey, and Maurice is about 2 steps late in there.
Tony Hill and James Lofton, of course, both came from Stanford, played collegiately there. Lofton played behind Hill for 3 years, and then when he was a senior, when Hill was gone, he came into his own. They both were high school quarterbacks. White to Drew Pearson. Drew to about the 30, just inside. Mike McCoy came up to make the stop. They only got about 3 out of that.
That's what the Cowboys like to do. They like to throw the ball down the field, get you thinking deep, and then hit you with those short or screen-type passes. And, of course, if they get you up to play the short or screen-type passes, then hit you deep. Keep you off balance all the time.
Bob Snelker standing alongside Bart Starr. Bob and I played together a long time. The Giants.
He's the offensive coordinator now, calls all the plays for the Packers.
Pearson comes in motion. White to Dorsett. Dorsett burrows when he gets trapped on the sideline. John Anderson led the Packer defense short of a first down by a couple yards.
That's what I like about Dorsett. He doesn't run out of bounds. As a coach, I used to hate that. I used to tell him anyone can run out of bounds. When you get to that sideline, you have to turn it up and finish off the run. I'll tell you, this guy does it. You know, he does a lot of tough things.
He does.
You think of him, those quick things, catching the ball, sweeps and stuff. But he does a lot of those tough type things like that.
Most of the great ones do that.
They sure do. That's the difference.
Just over 3 minutes left. In fact, by the time they get this underway, there will be just about 3 minutes. Newsome inside the 20 to about the 16. Randy Scott out there with him. He juggled it just a little bit. If you joined us late, Ron Springs is not playing. He has a bad knee. Let's look at Newsome again.
Let's watch this. Now, Danny White is back in the shotgun. He can throw the ball from the shotgun as well as anyone in football. He finds Newsome to the outside. Now, he can't turn it up and stay in bounds, or that could have been close to a score. There's a big guy. He's bigger than those Packer linebackers. In fact, he outweighs two of them by about 20 pounds.
Talk about, as you were a minute ago, Lynn Dickey, that people gaining confidence. As you watch Newsome, you can see the same thing happen to him. This is Newhouse. Randy Scott tripped him up inside the 15, about the 14. A couple of yards is all.
You know, and then talking about confidence, I think it's important for the Cowboys to get a touchdown here, because last week against Tampa Bay they couldn't do it. They started out the first two times today. They haven't been able to score the touchdown. And I think for confidence, a touchdown here would do the Cowboys a world of good.
White is 5 out of 5 on this drive. 2:19 left to play first half. After this play, we'll have the 2-minute warning unless it's an incomplete pass. Here comes an all-out blitz. Tony Hill has it inside the 5, and that should be enough for first and goal. Mike McCoy made the stop. Packers have an all-out blitz coming.
Most of the time down here, you expect the receiver to go into the end zone. We'll see it from ground level here. Tony Hill starts towards the end zone, just runs a hook, and Mike McCoy was playing defense in the end zone. That was a nice call.
2-minute warning now. First and goal from the 4 when we come back.
Told me I'm one of the best known cowboys in Texas, but a lot of people don't recognize me in a cowboy hat. So I just carry the American Express card. It can help you out in plenty of tough situations because you never know when you're going to be surrounded by redskins. Howdy.
To apply for the card, look for this display and take one.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Pat Summerall with John Madden, Texas Stadium. First and goal from Dallas, for Dallas, from the Green Bay 4. This is the 12th play in this drive coming up. They started back at their own 20. So the Packers put together a good long one. Cowboys answer back. Green Bay leads 7-6.
This is an area here on first down that the Cowboys have always liked, that play pass where they fake the run, some type of quarterback option run or pass, and find someone in the end zone.
First and goal then from the 4. Tom Landry with his crib sheet. White asking for quiet, please. 3 tight ends in this setup for Dallas. Jay Salvi has joined Dupree and Foster. Newhouse gets the handoff and falls over the top, rolls down to about the 1. They balk it at the 2 as Bart Starr looks on. Bart was very hospitable last night.
Always hospitable. This is the other area that the Cowboys like to play back. Same area, but second down they like to.
We have Newsome instead of Dorsett this time in the setup. From the 2. Newsome, touchdown.
That's another one where they bring the tight end in motion. That play at that time was Jay Saldi. He comes in and makes the lead block. I think if you play the Cowboys or watch them enough, you always follow that tight end, and he'll lead you to the play on short yardage and goal line defense.
Set the end with Toronto holding. recaptures the lead.
See if we can watch it here. Of course, the linemen do a nice job down here in the goal line. They get a good push. We'll see Jay Saldy come in. He leads in there, gets a good block, and that's the play that springs Newsom in there. Watch Saldy. See him, 87. See, he comes in to trap. The guy goes down. Of course, that just lets Newsom run inside of that.
So with a minute and 18 seconds left to play in the first half at Texas Stadium, the Cowboys 13, the Packers 7. That's the scoring drive. Dallas kept it 13 plays, drove it 80 yards. That's the time of possession in the first half. And that's the time left in the first half. Septien will kick it off. It is Del Rogers back deep. Line drive kick. Rogers misjudged momentarily, then backs up into his end zone and comes out. Rogers to the 25, where he's down there. The Packers have 2 timeouts remaining and a minute and 13 seconds in which to work. Rogers strolls off. The score at Texas Stadium is Dallas Cowboys 13, the Packers 7. 13-7, Dallas over Green Bay with John Madden, Pat Summerall at Texas Stadium. A minute 13 left to play in the first half. Packers will operate from their own 25-yard line. 3 wide receivers in this offensive setup for Green Bay. Dickey will go to work. Picked off by Dennis Thurman. Intended for Jefferson. Thurman. Maligned cornerback on this team. He got beat for the touchdown on Lofton, but he sure got a jump on that ball to Jefferson. He got even. 38-yard touchdown run by Dennis Thurman. Septien will try to add the extra point. And he does.
Let's watch it from the end zone. Jefferson is out to the right. He was in the slot. We see Dickey going back. Now watch, he turns. He's watching Jefferson too long. He's watching him too long. Thurman saw that, got the jump. Watch that jump that he got right underneath, right in front of Jefferson, down the sideline into the end zone.
So the Cowboys now lead 20-7. We'll return to Texas Stadium after this word from the National Football League. The preceding message was brought to you by the National Football League, and thank you, Sam Huff.
Green Bay has had 2 turnovers, and the Cowboys have gotten 10 points out of that. That's a big thing. Turnovers and then what you do with them.
Septien to kick off. Del Rogers back deep, and Rogers will handle again. From the 2. Everson Walls is the man who made the tackle on the kickoff.
Let's watch the interception again. It's man-to-man. Here's John Jefferson, 83. Dennis Thurman is on a man-to-man. See him tight? Now watch. As Jefferson breaks, Thurman breaks underneath him. He beats him to the position and catches the out. That is a heck of an interception. That was man-to-man coverage all by himself. Dennis Thurman on John Jefferson. Thurman gets the touchdown. You know, he's a good kid.
He really
I like that guy. He has a lot of life and emotion in him, and he's a lot like Butch Johnson.
Packers from the 20. Less than a minute left to play first half. Dickey looking over the defense. Will go to work again. And Ellis. I don't know if Walls caught it or not. Incomplete. Everson Walls made a dive. That's the catch he so often comes up with. Monty Hunter was over to help.
You know, that's something with this Cowboys secondary. They talk about him. Dennis Thurman, they say he's too small and too slow to play. Everson Walls, they say that, you know, he's a free agent. He's too slow. But these guys really make big plays. You see that? That ball was right there in his hands. But watch Walls right there. The ball did hit the ground. But he's always alert. Always trying to come up with a big play.
So it'll be second down. 54 seconds left to play in the first half. Bears have the ball at their own 21. Dickey back to throw again. Jefferson has it at the 30. Anthony Dickerson spun him around.
The Cowboys are in a real prevent defense. Their corners and safeties are off about 20 yards. They're 3 deep men.
Clock running. Dickey, screen pass coming. Ellis with some room, still on his feet, gets into Cowboy territory before he's tripped up by Harvey Martin. All the way from the other side of the field, 21 yards.
I think that this is an important little drive here for the Packers. They're taking time out now. But if they can get in and get a shot at a field goal before this half is over, it's a lot better feeling going in than going in after an interception.
Dickey over with Bart Starr. Bart, sure, just reminding him they have one more timeout remaining. Bob Snelker. And, of course, on the other side.
It looks lonely there.
Yeah. Don't forget to stick around with us at the half, and Brent Busberger will be around with playoff highlights of the entire weekend on the NFL Today. That's coming up at the half. A lot of highlights in the first game today. Miami beat San Diego. And we've had some highlights here.
I think the Packers would like to have one more highlight. All they need really is one more completion, and then they'd be in position for Jan Stenerud to attempt a field goal.
The dime defense is the one that we've been talking about when they have the 6 defensive backs, 1 linebacker, and 4 down linemen. That's his record against it.
And that's going to be the big matchup today, is Lynn Dickey and the Packers against that dime defense, because they're going to see an awful lot of that. Of course, that's the 6 defensive backs of the Cowboys, and they play that as well as anyone in the NFL.
Line of scrimmage is the Dallas 48. Dickey backtracks. Ed Jones all over his face. Anthony Dickerson almost came up with the interception. Eddie Lee Ivory was the intended receiver.
As you say, we see Dickerson there, and he's the man that almost had the interception, but the guy that caused it was Too Tall Jones. You know, that's a big thing. You can't let a quarterback get in rhythm. If you can get in his face, not let him see, not let him step up, but throw out of a tunnel, it's a different game. Too Tall, I saw him in the shower yesterday, and he said he was fine. He looks fine.
Yeah.
Let's watch him here. 72, left-handed stance. Starts in on Greg Cook, just powers his way up. Did you see that when he jumps up? Heck, he's 6'9". When he jumps up, he's 7'3". Tough to throw against that.
You fill up a lot of showers. Dickey picked off again. It's Dennis Thurman. Thurman comes up with his second interception. John Jefferson was the intended receiver, but Dennis Thurman now has 2.
Team goes in and thinks they can work on these corners, but if you work on these corners too much, you're going to have to make some tackles. Let's see if we can watch. Again, John Jefferson's 83. He's the second guy in. Starting up the field, he's going to run an in and then try and run a hook off it. It looks like Jefferson should have continued in. Dickey thought he was going to. He stopped and worked back. Thurman didn't. Thurman ran the pattern.
Cowboys will just run it out. The first half. Dallas 20, the Packers 7. Texas Stadium alive as both teams head back to that locker room. Cowboys now, after the interception by Thurman, owning a 20-7 lead. Now let's take you back to New York and to Brent Musburger.
All right, Pat and John coming.
Texas Stadium, as you would expect for this second-round playoff game, sold out. Dallas 20, Green Bay 7. Here is how they got that accomplished. This, of course, took place in the first half. Green Bay on offense. Dickey looks to Lofton. And James Lofton juked Dennis Thurman, and Green Bay took the lead with the extra point, 7-0. Dallas came right back on the next possession. Drove 80 yards. It was Timmy Newsom who jumped over the block by Jay Saldi and scored. And the little icing on the cake, John Jefferson, the intended receiver, number 32, is Dennis Thurman. And Thurman had it diagnosed perfectly. Raphael Septien added the extra point after that 39-yard interception for touchdown by Dennis Thurman. And that got us to the situation where we are with it. Dallas 20, Green Bay 7. Andy White, the Dallas Cowboy quarterback. Statistically in the first half, 12-7 in first down. See anything else?
Well, the big thing there is the turnovers. We see that Green Bay had 3 turnovers. The Cowboys didn't have any turnovers. And, of course, those resulted in 10 points. As we see here, they had their 3 turnovers, and Dallas scored 10 points as a result of those turnovers. So that's the big one. And of course, that could be from a little nervousness, apprehension, playing on the road, not having the playoff experience, all those types of things.
Dale Rogers, that's what he has done today on kickoff returns, back for Green Bay, number 35, and Raphael Septien will kick off for Dallas. Ray Stakowitz is the punter. Over on the sideline as we get set for half number 2. And here comes Septien. Rogers drops it. Picks it up at the 5. Gets out to about the 17. Cowboys down quickly. Green Bay in the first half. If you look at the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders, that is how they have worked out for them. 3 plays and a punt, 3 plays and a punt, 9 plays and a touchdown. That was their long drive. 1 play in the intercept and 5 plays in the intercept.
Of course, that 9 play and the touchdown is probably the one they talked about at halftime, when they'd like to see some more of this second half.
They also had a fumble kickoff in there, too, that led to a field goal by Septien. They go with those 3 wide receivers, as John Madden suggested. 1 setback and 1 tight end, Kaufman. If you go to work, Randy White in his face. This is Kaufman across the middle. Kaufman still on his feet. Out to the 40. Hard running by tight end Paul Kaufman.
That's an interesting way to start the second half, and I think it's a good idea. You know, get your 3 wide receivers in against their regular defense. We're going to watch the tight end, Paul Kaufman. He's working across the middle here, catches it, has a step, and then he knows one way to run when he catches that ball straight up the field.
Like Hegman had him man-to-man.
He sure did on that. They had the 3 wide receivers in there, so the linebacker, Mike Hegman, had to be man-to-man in the tight end.
First down, Packers at their own 40. Jefferson in motion. And Dickey again will throw on first down, and does. And it's caught by James Lofton. He goes out of bounds. Everson Walls back there with him. They didn't go in Walls' direction very much in the first half.
I like these things that they talked about, though, at halftime. You know, sneaking in a Philip Epps on first down, 3 wide receivers, throwing on first down, trying to stay out away from that 6 defensive back. And we see there Lofton did a nice job of running a man-to-man pattern on Everson Walls. Out.
Another first down for Packers. Ball is at the Dallas 39. Where James Lofton stands in terms of all-time Packer receiving leaders. He again goes to work. Outside of Ellis. Ellis chased out of bounds by Bruning at Walls, but again, good yardage.
Again, I like this Packer approach, Pat. They started off the first play of the series, 3 wide receivers. That time they had 2 tight ends in there. They had number 81, Gary Lewis, was in there. Let's watch how they get a player started in motion. Watch your quarterback's left leg. See, when he moves the left leg, right there. See the little up thing? Now that starts Lewis in motion. And then when Lewis goes by him, he pats him. That tells him I'm here. Snap the ball.
Lofton out to the left and Jefferson out to the right. They go with conventional formation now. Eddie Lee Ivory, one of the runners, and the fake is to him. Pass it to Lofton. Lofton still on his feet. Lofton down to the 10. Don Smerrick finally made the stop. Chased him down with help from Brunick. Packer march looks good.
It sure does look good. They talked about these things at halftime, I'm sure. You know, Tim Huffman, the left guard, came out and made a good block on that play that sprung James Lofton. Tom Landry saying, what the heck are they doing to us here? Watch it from the end zone. We'll see the fake toss to the right, a screen to the left. Now watch 74 right there. See right there. You see him get that block? And then that's the one, he spun him right around. And then that's the one that sprung James Lofton.
Block was on Guy Brown. It's first down, Packers just outside the 10-yard line. They can make a first down without scoring. Dickey's going to try to do it in a hurry. Just missed Del Rogers. He had him open, and he had a touchdown.
And you know why he didn't get it? Because he had a throw over Too Tall Jones. Too Tall Jones was between Dickey and Rogers, and he couldn't get the ball over his head.
Rogers comes out. Ivory comes in with the play from Bart Starr and Bob Snelker. They look all business on this maneuver.
And I think they have to stay with that type of thing. A lot of substitution, a lot of situational substitution. Getting your 2 tight ends, 3 wide receivers, keep the Dallas defense off balance.
Lofton and Jefferson both out to the right. Dickey backpedals, looks to Kaufman. Misses him. Benny Barnes on the coverage with Kaufman. Kaufman put a good move on and had some room.
Dickey's saying I should have had that one. The problem was Michael Downs, the free safety, came on a safety blitz. And no one picked him up. Watch him. Here comes 26. Watch him. He's coming right up the middle, untouched. You see, and he gets up in the air. And, you know, he still had a shot at that, though, even though they didn't pick up the blitz.
They'll be coming again. You can almost bank on that. 3rd and long, and the 6 defensive backs. Green Bay going with 3 wide receivers. Kaufman, the tight end, is on the right. Jefferson comes in motion, and Dickey tries to come out of there too quickly. Nothing doing. Dickey was trying to get out of there before it was ready. Makes his appearance. Bart says okay. Not a bad drive. It really wasn't.
That was a good drive, and I'm sure we'll see more of that type of thing.
Stenerud from 30 yards out with Stakowitz holding. Left-hand hash mark. With plenty to spare, and it's 20-10 now with 12-17 left in the 3rd quarter. Green Bay puts some points on the board.